send a court-documented form of species status before they'd even talk to me. And the courts won't let me make an appointment because I'm listed as dead. I was shouting, and I lowered my voice. "I can't help you," she said, as the man pushed me out of his space. "Come back when you have the right forms." Shoved to the side, I closed my eyes and counted to 10, very conscious of Wade sitting in one of the faded orange plastic chairs under the windows as he waited for me to realize the inevitable. The 20-something Ware was one of Takata's security people, having more muscles than tattoos showing from around his casual jeans and black t-shirt, and the small, stocky man had a lot of tattoos. He'd shown up on my doorstep the last week of July, moving into the belfry despite my protests, a birthday gift from my mom and birth father pop star dad. Apparently they didn't think I could keep myself safe anymore, which bothered me a lot. Sort of. Wade had been on my mom's payroll for nearly 4 months, and the anger had dulled. My eyes opened, and seeing that I was still in this nightmare, I gave up. Head down, I gripped my birth certificate tighter and stomped to the bank of orange plastic chairs. Sure enough, Wade was carefully staring at the ceiling, his feet spread wide and his arms over his chest as he snapped his gum and waited. He looked like a biker dude with his short, carefully trimmed orange-red beard and no mustache. Wade hadn't told me this was a lost cause, but his opinion was obvious. The man got paid whether he was playing chauffeur for me or camped out in the church's belfry talking to the pixies. Seeing me approach, Wade smiled infuriatingly, his biceps bulging as his arms crossed over his wide chest. "No good?" he asked in his Midwestern accent, as if he hadn't heard the entire painful conversation. Silent, I fumed as I wondered how the woman could treat me like I was just some jerk-ass nobody. I was a demon, damn it! I could flatten this place with one curse, burn it to nothing, give her warts or turn her dog inside out, if... Hands clenched in fists, I gazed at the decorative band of charmed silver on my wrist, glinting in the electric light like a pretty bauble. If I hadn't wanted to cut off all contact with my adopted kin. If I wasn't such a good person to begin with. If I wanted to act like a demon in truth. I'd devoted my life to fighting injustice, and being jerked around like this wasn't fair. But no one messes with a civil servant. Not even a demon. No good, I echoed him as I tried and failed to get rid of my tension. Wade took a deep breath as he stood. He was small for a man, but big for a Ware, coming to my 5'8" exactly, with a thin waist, wide shoulders, and small feet. I hadn't seen him as a wolf yet, but I bet he made a big one. "You mind driving home?" I asked, handing him my keys. Crap. I'd had them in my hand for only the hour it had taken to get to the front of the line. I'd never get to drive my car legally. Introspective, Wade fingered the Lucky Rabbit's Foot keychain, the metal clinking softly. There wasn't much on it these days, just the key to a car I couldn't drive and the key to Ivy's lockbox. "I'm sorry, Rachel," he said, and I looked up at his low, sincere voice. "Maybe your dad can fix something." I knew he meant Takata, not the man who had actually raised me, and I grimaced. I was tired of going to other people for help. Hands in the pockets of my little red leather jacket, I turned to the door, and Wade slipped ahead of me to open the milky glass. I'd get the car registered to Jenks tomorrow. Maybe Glenn could help me get my license pushed through. They liked me down there at the human-run Federal Inderland Bureau. "Ms. Morgan?" crackled and popped over the ancient PA, and I turned, a stab of hope rising in me even as I worried at the hint of worry in the woman's voice. "Please come to window G." I glanced at Wade, who'd frozen with his hand on the door. His brown eyes were scanning the room behind me, and his usually easygoing expression was professionally wary. The switch surprised me. I hadn't seen it before. But then, it had been pretty quiet around the church since I'd officially switched my species to demon. Very few people knew the band of silver around my wrist, truncated about half my magic arsenal. It was basically a Mobius strip, the charm's invocation phrase never ending, never beginning, holding the spell, and therefore me, in an in-between space where it was real yet not completely invoked, and barred any contact with the demon collective. Long story short,